Welcome. I am Sister Who. With me on the show here today, I have my friend Val Stepien, and we
Hello.
wanted to talk about societal implications of being out. Policies, laws, neighborhood categorizations. Why is it important for people to be out? Why do some people argue against it? Why do some people argue for it?
Yeah, I personally believe that being out is really important, not just for us individually and as a group of GLBT folks, but I think it's important for our society, because if people aren't out, then the people who have an issue with it don't ever have to grow. They don't have to learn. They don't have to deal with their stereotypes, their misperceptions. It's just wrong for people to be able to hold on to the beliefs that they have that are false. I don't think it helps them as a person emotionally, mentally, spiritually, socially, in any kind of way. So,
Which is not, it's not because the belief is false that makes it wrong, but because false beliefs, in my understanding, are inherently destructive in some way.
they damage people.
They damage people, they damage relationships, they limit society, they ruin potential. I'm sure there are people who would just as soon not deal with the tediousness of growing all the time or learning new things. If we don't continue to learn, though, it's kind of like a company that doesn't have a research and development department. After a certain number of years, their product is obsolete and they have nothing to compete with newer products coming on the market. There has to be this constant development to stay on the cutting edge of being the best product. To have a healthy community, you have to stay on the cutting edge of what makes a community healthy.
Including diversity in every kind of way.
And integrating that diversity in a constructive way, rather than trying to censor the parts that make us uncomfortable because they're different. Maybe to get to a point where what's different doesn't inherently make us uncomfortable.
Right. That would be lovely, wouldn't it?
It's new, it's innovative, it's a fresh perspective, but it's not bad, it's not dangerous, it's not one of those things we don't talk about in public.
Right. I remember I have a large family, 8 children in our family, and when I first came out to them in my mid-20s, everybody just was really quiet, except one brother who came up to me. He said, "Oh, really? So you're a lesbian? That's so cool. So tell me about it. And when did you know?" And we got into this great conversation. And he and I are really close to this day. Because he was the one person that was willing to speak about it.
And to validate sounds like such an overused word, but to encourage your ongoing personal growth, to be part of nurturing you to be the best you that you could be, without any judgments about what that's supposed to look like.
To be interested in me, to be interested in my story, a part of the story that he didn't know, even though we'd grown up together. Interested without judgment.
And in that, to be part of making you someone who could make an incredible contribution to society. People who feel good about themselves make better contributions to society. And gay and lesbian people have contributed enormously to the world of the arts, of creativity, writing, theater, movies, painting, sculpture, even science, things that involve innovation and creativity and new perspectives. The field is just loaded with names of people for hundreds of years who have made incredible contributions, and lo and behold, they were gay or lesbian.
And when I first heard those lists when I was in my mid-20s, it was just so uplifting. It's like, oh, that person, oh, that person, oh, that person. You know?
Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, Tchaikovsky,
Oscar Wilde,
Virginia Woolf, and on we could go. I mean, there's just such a long list. I want to say Alan Turing.
I don't know him.
I think I'm remembering the name right. He's the gentleman who broke the Nazi code during World War II. Breaking the Nazi code was regarded as the thing that allowed the tide of the war to turn and the Allies to start winning victories. He was a gay man who broke the Nazi code and was given a medal for doing that, and then after the war there was a general societal policy that harassed homosexuals, and he wound up committing suicide.
Wow.
Because of the societal harassment for being gay.
Yeah.
So they gave him a medal at one time and basically harassed him to death at another time.
It's crazy making, isn't it?
It's absolutely crazy. But anybody, I mean, any one of us could have been an Alan Turing. You know, being in the right place at the right time to make a contribution that changes history for millions of people, literally millions of people. But if that person is raised to be quiet and recessive and reclusive and intimidated, they're not going to make the contribution that could save millions of people.
Because creativity is about openness, it's about awareness and options.
And then when we bring out what is most creative and innovative in each of us, those are the solutions that solve the problems that would otherwise be insurmountable.